The date is Sunday, September 28th, 2008 at 2 o'clock p.m. at Shea Stadium in Queens, New York, and it is 71 degrees outside. The home team, the New York Mets, with a record at 89-72, were fighting for a wild card spot and were keeping an eye on the Philadelphia Phillies, who were getting ready to play the Washington Nationals. The away team was the Florida Marlins, who during opening day was starting off the 2008 season playing the New York Mets and lost that series, losing 2 out of 3, getting outscored 24-12. But that didn't stop either Mets or Marlins from having decent seasons. The big three from the NL East seemed like the Phillies, who finished first, the Mets, who were the runner-up, and the third-place Marlins. But this game would not only finish the 2008 regular season, but this would possibly be the last game at Shea Stadium before the Mets moved over to Citi Field the following year in 2009. Like I said before, going into the game, the Mets were hoping to sneak into the playoffs. As for the Florida Marlins, they were having a good season, but there wasn't going to be October baseball played in Miami. Sorry. Of course, the Marlins had a lot of decent players still. They actually had all their infielders had 25-plus home runs in 2008. Mike Jacobs at first base and Dan Uggla at second both had 32 home runs. Hanley Ramirez at shortstop had 33, while Jorge Cantu at third had 29. Cody Ross was also outstanding both at the plate and in center field as well. So this offense was pretty good, obviously. As for pitching, well, it wasn't anything to write home about, to say the least. Their ace was Ricky Nolasco, and he wasn't bad, going 15-8 with an ERA at 3.52, 212.2 innings pitched, and a whip at 1.10. The rest, again, wasn't really to write home about, like I just mentioned. The bullpen wasn't anything too spectacular, but Kevin Gregg, who was the Marlins closer in 2008, didn't put up bad numbers. As for the home team New York Mets, the offense, carried by both the Carlos Delgado and Carlos Beltran, shortstop Jose Reyes, and third baseman David Wright. The rotation was carried by Yohan Santana and Mike Pelfrey. They also had a 36-year-old Pedro Martinez in the rotation, and in the bullpen, just like the Marlins, nothing to get excited about, but a 36-year-old Billy Wagner would return to be the closer for the 2008 Mets. The starting pitchers in this game for the Mets would be Oliver Perez, who is 26 years old at this time, and had pitched for half of the MLB team, seems like, while Freddie Gonzalez gave the ball to Scott Olson, who had a roller coaster 2008 season. Starting out the first inning, Oliver Perez was off to a solid start, and in the bottom of the inning, Scott Olson got Jose Reyes and Carlos Beltran out pretty easily. Carlos Delgado got the first hit of the game on a 1-2 count with 2 outs, which was a short line drive to left field. However, Olson was able to get David Wright out on a 3-1 count on a line out to center fielder Cameron Maybin. With 1 out in the second inning, Dan Uggla got the first hit for the Marlins on an infield single. Josh Willingham hit an infield pop fly, and Cody Ross walked to put runners at first and second base. Oliver Perez was able to get out of trouble after the Cody Ross walk, getting out the Marlins shortstop Alfredo Amezaga. Nothing really happened at the start of this game, with it being scoreless during the first 5 innings, but heading into the top half of the 6th, this was when the game got interesting. Oliver Perez was still on the mound for the Mets, facing the Marlins leadoff hitter Cameron Maybin, who led off the inning with a ground rule double, and Marlins catcher John Baker then scored the first run of the game on a single to center field, making the score 1-0 Marlins. Jorge Cantu followed up with a single of his own, and then Mike Jacobs flew out to become the first out of the inning. Oliver Perez then intentionally walked Dan Uggla to load the bases. Mets skipper Jerry Manuel pulled out Oliver Perez from the game, bringing in Joe Smith, who's another active player as of making this video. Joe Smith was first greeted by Josh Willingham, who Joe walked to bring in a run, making the score 2-0 Florida. Cody Ross then popped up in foul grounds, and shortstop Alfredo Amezaga grounded out to end the top of the inning. The bottom of the sixth would also be the last inning for Scott Olson. Robinson Cancel, who came in to pinch hit for Joe Smith, led off the bottom of the sixth for New York, walking on a full count. Jose Reyes then flew out to right it with the next batter being Carlos Beltran. On the second pitch of this at-bat, Beltran hit a deep fly ball to left center field, tying the game on a 2-run homer. This would turn out to be the last home run ever hit by a Mets player at Shea Stadium. The ball itself is now sitting in Zach Hampel's apartment. However, that would be the only 2 runs the Mets had all night. As in the 8th inning, the Marlins had 2 solo homers of their own hit by pinch hitter Wes Helms and Dan Uggla, being the last 2 home runs hit at Shea Stadium, period. With the score now 4-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning, the Marlins brought in Matt Lindstrom to get the save. David Wright started out the inning with a pop fly to Dan Uggla at second base. Andy Chavez then grounded out, becoming a quick out number 2. The Mets sent in Damian Easley to pinch hit for Bobby Parnell, who got the final out for the Mets in the top of the 9th. Easley walked on a full count, and the final batter ever to step into the batter's box at Shea Stadium would be left fielder Ryan Church. With a runner at first and 2 outs, the count 1 ball and no strikes, Church flew out to Cameron Maybin in center field, ending the ballgame. The Marlins would win this game 4-2, being the final score. Also, to make things worse for Mets fans, they would be knocked out of their playoff hunt, with the Phillies winning their game at home against an awful Washington Nationals. But hey, at least the Yankees missed out of the October baseball for the first time since 1994, and their season ended on a walk-off loss against the Boston Red Sox. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We are on the road to 500 subscribers still. And let me know in the comments below if you're a Mets fan that grew up with the 2008 team, or do you have any memories at Shea Stadium? Or let me know which is better, Shea Stadium or Citi Field. We'd like to know your opinion in the comments below. And we will talk to you guys later. Stay tuned for our next video where we talk about the last game at Yankee Stadium.